Just 11 kilometres from the CBD, one of the last big open spaces on Sydney's coast is again up for grabs. Will the Malabar Headland be declared a national park, or will the Anzac Rifle Range be allowed to stay? Competitive shooter Donna Negus, who travels from Canberra every fortnight, has been coming to Malabar all her life.
It's part of what I've grown up with. My children come out here now and they stay up at the club hut with their nan, but they love coming out here as well.
John Fitzgerald is president of the New South Wales Rifle Association, which has run the Anzac Rifle Range at Malabar for 46 years.
It's probably inevitable that this place will go because of the surroundings, the closeness to the CBD and whatever. We would be sad, very sad, to see it closed and turned over for a national park or whatever, but we're not against that.
Back in 2012, then Federal Environment Minister and local member Peter Garrick tried to evict the rifle range and others like a pony club and the model plane club and declare a new national park and open the headland up to the public.
It's just not feasible to have people discharging firearms in a location like this in 2014 when this has got major recreational use opportunities for the people who live around.
But Garrett's plan hit a roadblock when the Rifle Association challenged the eviction and won. The headland has been in limbo ever since.
We just want somebody to make a decision whether we're relocated or whether we stay here. If we're relocated, we wish to be relocated obviously to a site that is suitable in the Greater Sydney Metropolitan Basin, such as Cecil Park, the Sydney International Shooting Centre that was built for the 2000 Olympics, and we're quite happy to go there. There is a cost involved in the vicinity of $12 million in the budget that we've put forward, and we don't have that sort of money.
Randwick Council has been wanting to relocate the rifle range since 1965. Liberal Mayor Scott Nash wants his federal colleagues to declare the headland a national park and extend the Sydney Coastal Walk from Bondi all the way to Botany Bay.
What is upsetting for us at the moment, of course, is that the Malabar Headland is in the way of allowing us to complete the coastal walkway. So at the moment you do get to Maroubra and there is that gap. So both in terms of locals and visitors, it's a massive attraction.
Like to see it open, no buildings around there. Love to have the natural. And a walk all the way down to La Perouse would be beautiful.
And I think it should remain in the state it is, whether it be a national park or a rifle range.
And we love to have all these areas a national park.
Oh, I think it should definitely become a national park for sure. The rifle range doesn't really bother us, but it would certainly increase property value around here.
Sports field, I don't know about a sports field, but recreational use for everybody.
Friends of Malabar Headland volunteer Don Kerr has been campaigning for the conservation of the headland since 2000, when the Commonwealth planned to sell it off for development.
From speaking to the local community, which we do at great length, people want to get into the bush. They want to be able to walk through it, watch whales, fish and all those things that people do in the bush. And they're very frustrated at the moment that they can't get into that bush because it's not a national park.
Complicating the picture, before the last federal election, now Environment Minister Greg Hunt promised the Pony Club and sporting shooters would return to the headland. More recently, Prime Minister Tony Abbott said Australia had too many national parks.
We have quite enough national parks, we have quite enough locked up forests already.
I couldn't believe that statement because health experts tell us now, particularly in urban and suburban areas, that not only are national parks important because of the nature that's in them, they're important because of the beneficial effect they have on the people who visit them.
The headland covers 177 hectares. The western portion, roughly 18 hectares, was handed back to New South Wales in 2012 and declared a national park. Likewise, the Commonwealth planned to hand back the eastern portion, covering 54 hectares, but the New South Wales government refused to take ownership until remediation was completed and the future of the rifle range was sorted out. The rifle range occupies the middle of the headland, and it's this area that would be opened up to a range of recreational uses including parkland, horse and bike riding like Centennial Park nearer the city. Donna Wright Secretary of the South East Equestrian Club is looking forward to getting back on the headland.
Yes, we have won, and the coalition have won, which makes us a winner. The contract is virtually on the table, ready to be signed for a 30-year lease.
Wright says concerns about asbestos contamination at the former tip site have been overstated.
Yes, there's asbestos, but if you don't break it up and you don't move it around, there's no real issue.
There's no reason why we can't continue to remediate Malabar Headland so that we have a world-class national park here, right on the side of the suburbs of southern Sydney, accessible to everybody. And the longer you leave this sort of work, the more expensive it gets. And we had a commitment in the budget in the past to do that work. There's no reason why they can't commit to it in the future.
This rifle range has been a political football for almost 30 years. You can see why the previous Labor government hoped that this would revert to National Park. Under the Abbott government, the future is now completely unclear.
We've been a bouncing ball between whatever government happens to be in office at the time, and one moment they're going to let us stay here, one moment we're going to be relocated, then there's a change of government, and here we go bouncing around again.
There's nothing stopping the New South Wales government and the Commonwealth government taking the next step. We've already handed the land back to the New South Wales government for National Park. We've got National Park on the western side, National Park on this incredible eastern foreshore and the cliff area. So there are no barriers to this becoming a world-class national park. Come on guys, just get on with it.